Hey everyone, this is SM Pratt, and today we have another binder video. We're going to keep the original Wizards of the Coast sets rolling. We left off last time with Gym Challenge, now we're on first edition Neo Genesis. This set was released in December of 2000 in the US, and I would say it was the tipping point for that original golden era Pokemon hype. In my area, we messed with Neo Gen a little bit, but then after that, you started to see a slowdown into the early 2000s when Pokemon was at its lowest point. So that's where this one sits historically for the hobby. So let's get right into it, do a little art appreciation as usual. We're going to go through every single card. Starting with this Ampharos, barely looks holographic. There you go, see a little bit of it there. First card in the set, you're going to see a lot of the second gen gold and silver era Pokemon. Next up is Azumarill, as we know, is the evolved form of Pikablue. Nice Sugimori art. And then we have Blossom. Really like how gold and silver, the Neo era, just interacted with the first gen. I think it was the most complimentary set release. I think how they transitioned from first to second gen was flawless. Gold and silver, I think, in my opinion, it might be partial because of nostalgia. It's just the best expansion, or the best integration for a new set. Then you got your Feraligatrs arguing with each other. One was released in the folder in Japan, so naturally they put both of them in the set in English. And then you have Heracross, the pincer evolution that never was. Maybe that's a little nod right there in the foreground with Pinsir's little horns. Then you got Jumpluff, a Pokemon that'll probably always be the same price no matter what year it is. And then you have Kingdra. Again, just love the gold and silver just adaptation of Pokemon. Unbelievable how you thought Seadra was the end of it. Then you got Kingdra. Just like how they integrated this next generation. And then here is our Charizard for the set. Lugia was the card everybody talked about. Nice art. Let me try to show you. You see how there's a little red at the top, blue on the side, yellow in the left corner of the art. It's kind of hard to capture because that whole colorless overlay for the holo, but you can see a little red, blue, and yellow accent. That's, of course, to mirror the attack down here with the fire, water, and electric energy. Such an iconic art. This was its rookie card. This was its first appearance in any set. Iconic card, iconic Pokemon. I would definitely say it's the Charizard, if you will. I always give that little moniker to like a card in the set. While we're talking about Charizard, this is probably a good time to show you the difference between the card layout. You can see at the bottom, Neo started doing this design where you had that, that weakness and resistance. You can see the side-by-side is a little bit different. Also, you had a difference in the HP color. Just subtle changes moving forward. Some of them were integrated in Gym, but Neo was the first to that little weakness and resistance design. Moving along, slowly but surely, we have Meganium, one of the other starters from Gold and Silver. And then we have Pichu, another iconic Pokemon. Again, just a great example how Gold and Silver really complements the first gen. You thought Pikachu was cute enough. They're like, hang on, we're going to do an even smaller version of Pikachu and go even cuter. So there you go. There's your teacup Pikachu. Then you have Skarmory, Slowking. Really like that art. Look at that holo. Look at that design. We see you, Slowking. Another example of that. Another way to evolve Slowpoke. Really like that idea. Onix got his evolution with the introduction of Steel Pokemon. Back in the day, Steelix was like the Steel Pokemon because it had Steel literally in its name. But this was the Pokemon everyone thought of. You had the introduction of the Steel energy and the Dark energy. So this was that association. It was really cool to see that new type. Again, the integration, just over the top of Gold and Silver. Then we have Togepi's evolution over here. Not too hot on that. It's all right. And then next up, speaking of hot, we have the most difficult card to grade in the entire set, Typhlosion 17. Not to be confused with the nicer, kinder twin brother, Typhlosion 18. Typhlosion 17 does not play. If you go look at the pop for this card, it's like one of the lowest percentage 10s in all of Wizards of the Coast, in all of the hobby. It's ridiculously difficult to grade. This is probably a good example of what you're going to see. This is pretty much par for the course. Slightly off-centered. There's probably a holo line. I don't know if I could pick it up on the camera. But most of these cards, Neo Gen is known for holo lines. this one actually looks pretty decent. I'm not seeing anything popping out at me, but that is what you're going to have to look out for with Neogen, is going to be the holo lines. It's always that invisible thing. I have Lugias that are beautiful, but they have a little line across them. Nonetheless, Typhlosion, by far the most difficult card to grade. People always ask, what would it go for in a 10? At this point, it's unprecedented. One hasn't sold for ages, in a public sales, or even privately from, that I know of. So it's one of the most difficult cards. I probably have a whole army of 8 to 9s of this card. So there you go. Most difficult card to grade. We have the nicer Typhlosion. Moving along to the Metal Energy that I mentioned earlier with a nice holo pattern. Looking good. And then we got Cleffa. Nice artwork here. Little baby Pokemon. This is another baby Pokemon. Again, if you didn't think Clefairy was cute enough, here's an even smaller, cuter version of Clefairy. Then you have Donphan, one of the, what was that, in the original movie, in the little tropical island short. Elekid, really nice art. Another baby Pokemon next to Magby. These two right here back in the day, man, if you had these, if you pulled one of these, you were doing it big, because there's that new Pokemon. It's like, whoa. And seeing any of these new Pokemon was just a big deal, because Mew was a big deal. Then you heard about Pichu, heard about Peekaboo. So these right here, the new baby Pokemon thing, was a game changer. Then we got Murkrow. We got our first dark Pokemon. You can see now it's everybody knows about dark energy. All the younger people watching are like, all right, we grew up with this stuff, but it didn't exist initially. This was the first set to feature an actual dark Pokemon. Sneasel, one of the OG playable cards. This thing was banned because its attack was out of control. I mean, it was something that was banned almost immediately. And I think it's because that second attack right there. But moving along, then we have Apom. We still have a lot to go through. We still got to do the uncommon and commons. Now we are went through the non-holo rares, moving into the uncommon common cards. My favorite, because they're always overlooked. Previous evolution of Meganium. We got our Bayleafs. Then we got our Clefairy here on a swing. Then we got a couple more. Croconaw. I think that's how you pronounce it. We got the nice Electabuzz. Really like how they, threw in some of the Kanto era. We got Flaffy, Furret, another one there in the background. We got Gloom. Never know what Gloom's thinking. Never know what Gloom's feeling. Then we got Granbull. Is that how you pronounce it? Know the Pokemon. Never said its name out loud. Lantern. Another new one. Then we got Ladybuzz Evolution. Prefer Ladybug more, again, because that nostalgia for the original Tropical Island. They have a nice Magmar art here. And then friggin' Miltank. I know it doesn't say roll out on the card, but it can still roll out. Don't worry. This thing is the bane of your existence in Gold and Silver. I remember hearing about it online, because I didn't play Gold and Silver till later on. Played this. That rollout is no joke. The legend is real. The myth is real. The meme is real. Get out of here, Miltank. So we got Noctowl next up. Then we got Fampy. Pillow-Swine. Really like this evolution. He gets one later on. Quagshire, kind of an odd one. Looks like Ditto. It's like, what does a Ditto Quagshire look like? Can we big brain mean Matt? What is a Ditto Quagshire? Is it the same? What happens? I don't know. Professor Oak will have to tell us. Then we're moving along to other evolutions. And we got Seadra. We got Skiploom. We got Sunflora dancing in front of Erica's gym there. Togepi hanging out in the tree. Xatu? How do you guys pronounce that? Xatu? I always do the Z like that. Don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Xatu. Chikorita. Another Chikorita. This is the one I always think of right here. That's like the original, in my opinion. And then we have, of course, the Cyndaquil. Another Cyndaquil. Giraffe. I just call this thing Giraffe. I don't even pronounce the end of it. You're seeing how fluent I am in the actual vocabulary Pokemon. Then we have Hoot Hoot, Hoppip, Horsey. A lot of H's in a row there. God, I had this thing in Japanese back in the day. Brings back a ton of memories. There we go. There's the Ladybug that we all know. One of my favorites from Southern Island. Probably one of my top 10 cards, honestly, from the Tropical Island series. Then we got Mantine, Mareep. Really love this. The rookie card right here. Then we got our Marill. It's not the Coral. I know a lot of people like the Coral one. Going back. Let me see if I can go back to that first page. The evolution box there for Azumarill, I think that's what most people think of for the first Marill card, the first Peekaboo from Koro or Black Star promos. But nonetheless, this was the first in a set. So there you go. That is the first Marill card. But even me, I'm more towards that Black Star one, that core one. That's what I think of first. Then we got Natu. Then we got nice Oddish here. Really started to see that new design emerge. You know, before it was real literal with the Sears portrait backdrop. Now you got some action going on. You got Onyx. Pikachu. There's always a Pikachu somewhere. This is the Neo Gen version of Pikachu. We got Sentret doing tail lifts, not skipping tail day. We got Shuckle. Then we got a nice Slowpoke. Look at that design. Is that Komiya? Don't even have to ask. Snubbull, Spinark. We got Stantler, Sudo, Woodoo. Moving, I guess. This guy never moves in real life. Like, the thing's real. This guy never moves in the game. Then you got Sunkern. Then you got Swinub. Really like Swinub. Totodile. Another Totodile. And then moving along to Wooper. And then you start to get into the trainers. And I know people were probably already tuned out. They're like, all right, I hated trainers growing up. Yes, it was frustrating pulling them because you just wanted nothing but Pokemon. But now, the artwork I appreciate it more because of that counterintuitive aspect. No one really looked at it when you're younger. So we're going to roll through the trainers. Got our Eco Gym. This one's going green. PC before it was cool. We got Energy Charge. We got Focus Band. It's another Komiya. Got Mary. We got Pokegear. Got Super Energy Retrieval. Time Capsule. We got Bill's Teleporter from the game with the one pose. That guy's got one pose and he does it in every card. It's like freaking Zoolander. We got Card Flip Game. Goldberry. Miracle Berry. New Pokedex circa 2000. We have Professor Elm, Sprout Tower, nice little CGI right there. Super Scoop Up, and then just a regular berry. No Miracle Gold happening. And then the last few here, some more Komiya. We got Double Gus, Moo Moo Milk. This one was changed. I know a lot of people know about the Japanese one. Was censored. Got to keep it PC. Then we got the Pokemon March. Really nice artwork on this one. Give that one a pause. They got the Super Rod. What is the fish here? Do people know? Is it Magikarp? I know a lot of people just assume it's Magikarp. That was always my assumption, but maybe someone's measured it and sent it in to National Geographic. But there it is. Super Rod. And then last but not least, a couple energies, finishing off with that Dark Energy. This was the first appearance again. Back in the year 2000, that was a big deal, seeing that new energy. And then Recycle Energy, keeping it PC. So there you go, guys. That is Neo Genesis. First edition set. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you grew up with it, if you're in that original era, if you came to it later, if you don't care, whatever your opinion is, feel free to let me know. And that is pretty much it, guys. Till next time.